I knew I wanted to be an artist. Well, I've always wanted to be one in many ways. You know, even when I was 6 or 7, I think I had some really good art teachers when I was that age. So I've always kind of considered myself an artist. You know, there's never really been a stage. I never went through the stage of wanting to be like a racing car driver or something like that. You know, I haven't really ever seen myself as anything else. So I don't think there was really a point when I knew I wanted to be an artist, because I've always wanted to be one. I went to art school at Camberwell College of Art, which was really great. Obviously being in London, I think that was one of the most important things for me, was being in London and being able to go to galleries and being in kind of a hub and being just involved in the art world to some extent. You know, I think that was really important to me, so Camberwell was excellent for that. If I tell you a bit about the way I work and my process, I use influence of old master techniques in the way I work. You know, I build up these layers of paint in translucent glazes and try and create an element of depth in the work, try and create an inner light. I work from photographs as well as sketches and from life as well, and each one of these, I use each one of these depending on who or how I feel about the work and who I'm painting. I'll use kind of each one of these in varying different points in the work. It takes me a fair few months to paint each work, depending on which one it is and depending on size. But I mean, if we take this one of these two, it's probably 3 months' work doing that, and that's painting for probably at least 12 hours a day. And going up to, on the run up to a show, that can go up to about 18 hours a day of work. So it's a lot of work that goes into each one, but obviously immensely enjoyable at the same time. Jonathan Yeo is someone, you know, the portrait painter, is someone that I really kind of look up to. And even though he's kind of slightly the generation above me, sort of 20 years older than me, I think what he's done for portraiture is really interesting. You know, the fact that he's taken celebrities and tried to unpick them and get behind the scenes to a certain extent. And there's also artists like Ty Scherenberg, who's represented by Flowers Gallery. And there's also an artist that I met the other week called Kelvin Okafor, who's represented by Albemarle Gallery. And I mean, he's an incredible draftsman, but that's something that I really engage with. You know, people that are using paint or using the handmade aspect of painting. You know, that's something that I really try and engage with in my work, and I think there is possibly a slight movement towards that kind of handmade element of painting now. I think my work is very much influenced by 17th century Dutch painting. You know, Vermeer probably in particular, his sort of sense of stillness and tranquility, and that light that's evoked in his work. I think that era in particular would probably be the most influence on my work. I think they produce some amazing painters. I use quite a lot of costumes in my work, and I think that's because I'm interested in that line between kind of performance and reality to some extent. You know, artifice and reality, and that line between the two, that point when the actor becomes the character, you know, and that weird bit in between, or when the model becomes the model, you know, and transfers from being herself. And I think if you can find that point, people are at their most vulnerable then. I think life in general is a performance to some extent. We're kind of continually performing to be ourselves. And so I think if you can find that moment of vulnerability, I think as a viewer you can connect with that. And I think by highlighting these performative elements about people, I'm almost undermining them so you can see beyond them. And I mean, even if we take the fat suits beyond the subject that I was talking about actors, I mean, there's obviously more of an obvious statement here about body image and all that as well. So hopefully it's relevant today as well as harking back to the past in one way or another. I was lucky enough to be shortlisted for the Young Masters Art Prize when I was in second year of college, and I think that is something that's certainly. I mean, all of us there had some inspiration from kind of the old masters, and we're looking back to a certain extent and thinking about using that and transferring that and making it contemporary, making it relevant today. So since college I've been busy. It's been really good. I've been showing all over the place actually. I mean, I've just had a show in Medici Gallery, and I've been selected for quite a few different art prizes, which has been amazing. And I've been lucky enough to show in Cork Street and things like that. And obviously I'm working towards this show with IPA at the moment, which is going to be exciting. I'm really grateful. The fact that I can do something that I love doing, and I always get a buzz out of other people that are young and passionate and wanting to do well. So I think hopefully I'm one of those people, wanting to paint and lucky enough to be able to do something that I love doing, and hopefully I'll be able to continue doing that.